Morning, welcome to We Are Live. It's Chris Denman in St. Louis. We're in Grand Center, Midcoast Studio. Check out midcoast.media for more information. Be sure, if you're not already, subscribe to We Are Live on iTunes. Throw us a 5-star review while you're at it. Joining me in studio, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Squatch Hunter, the intern, Tommy.
Up?
Good morning, Tommy.
I want to believe.
He's got the T-shirt on, don't you worry. Joining us from Cell Block C in Brooklyn, New York, the great Marvis Morell. Hello, Travis.
That was a good one. I have nothing for that. Well done.
That white T-shirt looks state issued, pal.
Yeah, I kind of walked into that one. That's on me.
That's all right. Well, we'll say hello to the stream queen himself, Mr. Gardner. Chris,
oh
hello.
My God, I love that name.
Yeah, he's the stream queen.
Stream queen. I like that. That's pretty good.
That is very good.
Every once in a while, I'll have half a creative thought. So there it is.
Good morning, gentlemen in St. Louis. Good morning, Travis in Brooklyn. And good morning, Walnuts. I wanted to mention to Travis as well.
Oops, that's the wrong sign.
Travis, don't.
No, what'd you do?
Travis, don't touch the glass. Your visit will be cut short.
I almost went white pop. My apologies.
Oh no.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't mean that.
Yep.
It's okay.
It certainly is. Plenty to get to today. We have a very important poll that's already up. We'll do some face-off. We'll make it racist, which we've been known to do a time or two here and there. We'll finish the show with some topical fair or foul. Again, we're going to do a big fair or foul Friday. Have a prize to wet your whistles. Mr. Gardner, you look perplexed.
I wanted to mention something to Travis that he missed out on yesterday.
Ooh.
Here in the area of Grand Center.
Mm.
There's that church. There's a church right near our building.
We share one of our lots with it.
Yes, and they were having a funeral yesterday, and it was a black funeral, Travis. I actually went out and had a number of cigarettes during the time that the funeral was going on, and I was kind of wondering, I wonder how long this thing's gonna go. But what made me smile yesterday for this funeral was a guy came rolling into the parking lot on a motorcycle, and he had the speakers blaring, just blaring. And this is how I know it was a black funeral. He was blaring "Fight the Power," and pulled up and parked the thing, and I was just sitting there smoking, and I was just, I don't know why, it just made me really smile. I'm like, I wonder who this guy was that passed away. It made me want to know who the guy was. If someone like that showing up to his funeral, I'm like, I kind of want to know more about him now. But I wanted to pass that along to you because I thought you would have enjoyed it if you saw it.
That is really funny. It actually makes me think like the type of people that would show up to my service.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would have a few of those who would just forget where they were and just blast some Nelly on their way to my wake.
This is what he would have wanted.
Your great aunt just staring them down. What's happening here? Yeah, whoever did pass, I hope I could be half as popular as them.
Yeah.
There was a good amount of people. So yeah, that's always interesting to see. That's nothing. I've never attended.
You should have stopped in there, Gardner. You should have stopped by the repass and see if you could grab yourself some string beans and some macaroni and cheese.
He doesn't own a suit nice enough to attend this one.
Yeah.
People were dressed.
It looked nice.
Yeah.
There were tuxes.
I could have walked over there, and if they
wow.
looked at me and said, what are you doing here? I just went, Newports. We're okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're okay. Okay, come on through, sir.
Yeah.
Come on through.
You could have told me.
Is that the universal black ID?
That's how I get relate to the black community.
Well, good for you, Gardner. Maybe next time we'll get you. Do you go ponytail at a funeral situation?
If it's a funeral like that, I probably should, being a white boy, just because
Did you just walk onto a black dude's property?
Well, eccentric white boy is going to be more accepted, I think, than just somebody in pleated khakis and a
they'll
polo
love
shirt.
me then.
Well, you got a little bit of a look there. I don't know though.
I'm eccentric.
Yeah, but you got to have a look, I think, too, that would make people comfortable.
I don't make people comfortable.
Well,
no, you literally look like Dylan Roof.
Who is that?
So yeah, He's a no.
Oh, I'm Googling it.
No,
So
no,
I
no.
would.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh
No.
boy.
Damn it,
Oh
Travis.
no.
No,
Oh
he's going to
boy.
be on a list,
Ah.
Travis.
Don't I? Tommy says, don't I make
I
people...
don't look like that.
I kind of think you should be walking up to any black churches anytime soon, Tommy.
Oh, yes.
You just may want to just stay away from churches for a while.
Mm.
Sorry.
Ooh.
I mean, unless you
808
plan on putting on like 25 pounds and shaving your head, which probably wouldn't help either. But
Yeah, no,
yeah, just stay away
I've
from the
had very
churches.
short hair. It doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Oh.
My hair has more of a flow than Dylan Roof's. It's got like a side flow.
You shouldn't
Something
compare
that was just
hairstyles to
spoken.
a serial murderer.
That was something
Yeah,
that was
you
just
shouldn't say
spoken.
that out loud. Yeah, he said it. But you know what? I take partial responsibility.
Partial.
What a
I did
show
lead
we
him to
have.
that water, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
That's what happens.
Good stuff.
Good
Also,
stuff.
I don't think I'm superior to anybody.
Yeah.
I'm very
That's
insecure.
Does Tommy...
Judging by your dating scene, though, I don't know.
Oh boy.
What does Tommy, when he shows up at that event, at this hypothetical funeral for a person that never existed, so we're not offending anyone, does he kind of look like the seventh member of My Chemical Romance? Like, what is...
Oh.
Are
what-
you wondering
are
what
we
I wear
doing
to
that?
funerals?
No, a hypothetical one of someone who doesn't exist in a
If I
funeral
were to-
situation.
if I were to go to a funeral,
All right, hold on. Let's do
full on
this.
black.
My funeral.
Okay.
I-
All
My
right.
funeral.
Yeah.
what would I wear to your funeral? All right.
I like shiny black, full on, not tux, shiny black suit with a bright red tie.
Okay, so here's my idea.
And he would clean his frames.
These?
What kind of
I'm getting
what color
contacts.
button
I'm
up?
getting rid of my glasses.
Really?
No, he goes all
Yeah.
black.
Okay.
The
Nah,
button down is
no,
all black.
this is
And
my-
kind of
this-
shiny.
This is my outfit. You're not my mom. Anyway,
Not yet.
that's creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, certainly.
I would get rid of the glasses. I'd cut the hair because I gotta look nice. I'd dye it again,
What color?
black.
Okay.
All right. I would have a suit fitted for me. I would wear the first top 3 white buttons open like this, and then I'd have
White button-up shirt.
Yeah, white button-up shirt.
Okay.
First 3 things open. I'd wear a suit jacket. I'd have black suit pants, and I'd wear boots.
What color suit jacket?
Black.
Black.
It's
What
a black
col-
suit
Okay, black suit.
with black boots.
No tie.
No tie.
What kind of boots? Like cowboy
Military
boots?
boots.
Military boots with
Yeah.
the suit.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You can wear that.
Because they're more comfortable than dress shoes.
The military boots are.
I wear my military boots when I perform sometimes. When I'm performing at a nicer venue, because you can't see them under my long pants. You can't tell they're boots.
I have a ton of dress shoes that I don't really put to use because I don't really need to. But my grandpa sold men's shoes for so many years at Dillard's that
Really?
he would get these free pairs of shoes, and he had enough for him, so he would like spread it out between my uncles and my brother and I. I got like 10 pairs of dress shoes that I really, and these are like
What size you wear?
like 10.
Ooh, we might have to talk.
And then, because it's like, they're like Cole Haans and whatever the hell else the
Oh, boy.
nice ones are. And
Yeah,
I'm
we-
like, no Bruno Molly's.
Excuse
Sorry,
me?
OJ.
I got some Cole Haans. You ain't said nothing but a word player. What size are those again?
I got Cole Haans. I got, why am I blinking on the other one? There's another brand that's, popular in the Dillard's men's shoe area
Yeah.
and they're different styles too. I got wingtips. I got normal.
love
I got
wingtips.
loafers.
I love
they sit in the
wingtips.
closet because I don't have. I'm a basic for me. My basic is I need tennis shoes and I need topsiders, and that's all I really need.
We have listeners chiming in, and if you want to tell us what you would wear to Gardner's funeral, we'll accept those in the comments.
Please
We've
do.
got the black sheep wearing a mint green suit and spritzing himself in menthol cologne.
Oh,
He's really setting it up for you.
that is cool.
Right
With a
now,
K.
I've never seen Gardner so happy.
right now,
Yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle a gardener's. I'm gonna sprinkle like tobacco over your coffin,
Over his
so
cold
that
dead
way
body.
Well-
that way you can always smoke, even
Yeah.
in hell.
But remember, I mean, this is going to be a Viking funeral on the River de Pere.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Have we found out if there's
By the
flames?
way, do we
Tony-
need to talk to somebody at the city about that? I feel like we
Yeah,
gotta get
well,
that's what I was saying.
there's
We need
an
to
actually-
check that we
probably
won't
against
set the
that.
whole thing
a
on
good
fire.
a good friend of mine is a retired is it undertaker or whatever. He used to manage multiple funeral homes here in the area, and I've already told him what I want, and he's like, I can try and make that happen.
Okay.
You know what I think would be better? Instead of like a full Viking funeral, is we cremate you, and then we take a pack of menthols, and we write proof that Chris Gardner has a heart, and then we set it to float on the river to
No,
pair.
that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the
That is
menthols
adorable.
I'm
thrown
hoping Travis got
onto
the
the
reference.
thrown onto the raft as it's burning, so that the menthols burn up along with me.
Is there anyone excluded from Gardner's funeral?
No,
No.
no.
No
about-
enemy. No mortal enemy.
I'll allow bears.
What about
Oh,
Dylan
wow.
Roof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
What?
He won't be available. Okay, let's not make him a thing today. Let's not do that. We
yeah.
are not
Way to go.
doing.
Travis,
We're
you
gonna
started
cut it
this.
off right now.
Travis started it.
Now, let me ask you. This is weird.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I actually have like a draft in my email because I've thought of this before. I want like a funeral playlist. I want like 50 songs that after I pass, that people get together and they listen to my playlist.
That's 1,000,000% a thing now, and it has been probably
it?
for 20 years. I
Okay,
bet.
good.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be. I even have. I want to go. I want it to be at Forest Park, like a listening party. And then you go to like, let's say, the World's Fair Pavilion.
What
And that's where
are
the
people
event
allowed
takes
to
place.
complain about the playlist?
Of course.
Like,
That's what music fans do.
Can Travis? You know these girls. Every girl at every college party ever. Next song.
Yeah.
Every time, and you're like, it just stop. Well, you don't like this. What's wrong with Spoon? It's
Of course, it's Spoon.
It's one of those things where it's like, play
Chris was
something
the only person
fast.
who heard that. Chris had shitty taste in music
Oh,
when he
here
was
we
in
go.
college,
Wow,
so that makes
that's how it
sense.
turns
Yeah.
into. Yeah,
My mom.
I like how he just
Yeah.
flipped it.
there it is. Yeah.
My mom
Oh.
is.
Here's my opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has given us her funeral playlist. She wants "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" from Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
right on
Really?
repeat.
damn it! I see where you get it. That's weird and funny.
Yeah.
Which is
We have a 6-foot painting of the Wicked Witch of the West in our living room.
learning more about your roots. I get it.
Yeah.
Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer wants a golf cart funeral procession.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is.
that would be annoying.
Oh, now that would be dope.
Oh
Now
man.
that would be pretty awesome. And then we just bring your body to Rosie's. We just bring
Oh.
the whole like procession of like funeral golf carts to
Yes.
Rosie's, just lined up around the corners of Central West End, and just people just stop by and just take shots off your body,
Oh.
your cold dead
Well,
body.
you can't. I mean, that's like. Is that like an Irish wake where they actually bring the body?
It's like
to
an
the bar?
Irish, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm, exactly.
And actually, I know someone that's had. Well, I know someone who had a husband. I never met the husband, but that's what happened with his funeral. It was like, and they went to like, there was a bar that was called Bull Feathers that was on the campus of SLU. And that's where they took the body, and
Bullfeather?
they all drank at the bar and then took the body on its way.
Yeah.
I think-
Tell us about bull feathers.
Frank was the owner. I used to go play darts there with one of the
I knew you'd know
Christ.
the history.
one of the fraternities at SLU.
Yeah, you did.
I used to hang out with some boys from there quite often, and
Well, don't say boys after I say yeah, you did.
yeah,
It's a fraternities.
well, that was Bull Feathers. It was like a dive college bar.
A cruel man would send you off with a 7 cotton candy vape salute.
Oh God,
From the Black Sheep.
I think we should have one menthol in Gardner's mouth at his open casket, and then we light it, and then everybody lights one menthol, and we pass it around the group, and everybody takes one puff
You know-
and passes it on.
you know what happened is
Mm.
oh God, Harry
Of
Callis.
course, he's got stories.
Harry Callis was the announcer for the Philadelphia Phillies, radio announcer for years.
When did you turn 83?
Smoked. I know. Pretty soon I'm going to start telling you about where all the old pharmacies used to be. The
I'm about to say, you
Rexall
sound like
right
Mike
by the
Claiborne
Fox.
now in the 6th inning.
Yeah. So Callis was the announcer.
Describing
Legendary.
physical attributes of people you can't remember
Yeah.
their name.
Old neighbors. Where did the Watsons ever move to? Did they go to Dakota? Did they move all the way to North Dakota? I can't even remember.
Now she was in account management. Yeah.
But Callis was a smoker and smoked parliaments and died. He passed away in the press box.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
I don't
only
know
way
if
to
this
go.
was 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that, because trying to remember. Ryan Howard was on the Phillies still, and some people, as you know, we are today, will get upset about things that maybe you should just let go. But in honor of Harry Callis when he passed away, the Phillies took a Parliament cigarette in the dugout and smoked. Everyone took a drag off the cigarette and passed it around the dugout, and it was on camera. And some people got upset that they were smoking in the
Oh,
dugout,
come on.
but they were showing tribute to Harry Callis, who's a Hall of Fame baseball announcer.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I said it.
Nice work.
Okay.
Adam J. is wearing pants from Old Navy to your funeral.
I just got new
That's
shorts.
too nice for
from
him.
Old Navy. The joggers.
You get
You know what I want to do for Gardner though? I would like to get a customized polo shirt
Yeah.
created for all the guests that come to your funeral, so that way they always have a polo shirt they can wear on the golf course or just around about town that memorializes your funeral. So like it'd be like the Great Gardner funeral, and it'll be like a logo of like your
Like a-
beard onto
yeah.
a golf cart, and it's so really nice, cool,
That's nice.
like Brooks
Breathable.
Brothers-esque polo.
Breathable.
Very
That's a
breathable.
very-
That's the goal.
I mean, that's a cookout-ish idea there. Forest Park cookout-ish idea. But I appreciate that because then we're blending cultures.
Lisa's,
That's what we want. We
Lisa's
want
wearing
everyone
a
to be
hazmat
together.
Suit,
To mine,
I guess.
well,
If it's on the river to Pear, that could make sense.
just don't get
It's
too
a gross
close.
river.
Well, you don't know that.
You know what? And then I'm going to make sure we get a pavilion at Forest Park
Oh, wow.
named after you.
You can do that.
So
Named
that
after-
way you will always grill, even in the afterlife.
Oh.
And we'll have a.
Man, those are two good ideas. We have a lot of good ideas this hour.
Despite the persecution of the modern smoker, we'll have an ashtray at hip level for everyone at the pavilion
Right
as
there?
well. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, did the cigarettes get you? Are we still allowed to celebrate the cigarettes?
No, it's not.
Was
the
it a
cigarettes
bear?
didn't get him.
Was
It's
it a
definitely
bear?
the bear. It's
Yeah,
definitely
probably
the
the
bear.
bear.
There's no doubt in my mind. In my mind, I see it as Gardner, unfortunately, jumping off the wagon after years of sobriety because he's sick and tired of the threat that bears are making towards society, and so he decides to challenge them at the St. Louis Zoo. And he actually gets in a few good punches before they ultimately take him out. But I think it's
Cully.
Gardner's last fight against the bears, just to let them know that when you try to attack the humans, you're going to get the best of us.
So we are calling this the Titanic. We know how it ends, right? But it's still it's going to
Yes.
do well.
Yeah, there's what is it, a blaze of glory, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
how Gardner. I expect him to go out, and I really like at the end of The Gray. With Liam Neeson when he's fighting the wolves.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I expect Gardner to go out, like with just
Yeah,
shard bottles of glass around his fist, and he's still barely breathing, but he's going to take out a couple of bears before he leaves this earth.
If I've fallen off the wagon at this time in this scenario, I'm hoping that I'll at least be numb enough to not feel too much. That's all I would
Yes,
hope for.
that's fair.
Would the bear keep you alive for several
No,
days
don't,
and then come
don't
back
talk
to
about
eat you?
that. No.
No, 'cause
Here's
I
the
did
funny
it-
thing.
as
That's
they
how
do.
that's how we find his body, Chris. That's actually how Tommy is playing Pokemon Go in the park one day.
Oh boy.
And he's going to go grab a shit turtle, whatever they call them.
What?
And
Oh,
he's going to be
what?
like, oh,
Hold
hey,
on,
there's
hold on,
Gardner's.
hold on. What'd you call it?
The guy who works in a
Is that
Muppet
shit
studio
turtle?
just clowned on your.
Turtle.
A shit turtle. It's
A
called a
shit
squirtle.
turtle.
It's called a squirtle.
Yeah. So
Squirtle.
you'll find one of those near Gardner's body. You're gonna be like, oh no, Gardner,
Oh,
you're over
really know
here, and
nothing.
you're over there, and you're over there, and you're over
They
here.
would-
Oh,
Because it's a bear, you see.
yeah.
That's what bears do.
That's a,
Okay, just making sure.
Well, we've got that figured out, which means we can transition to telling you about Tommy Bannister from Circa Properties.
we?
He can get you.
What
He
is that? The transition?
He can buy you. You could buy a house through Tommy, and it could be a bear-free home. That's right, Tommy Bannister, Circa
No, he
Properties.
could bring your real estate dreams to life.
Bear with us here and work with Tommy Bannister.
Oh.
That's right.
hate
Circa Properties, based in South City. They'll help you find a new home or sell your current home. That's right. Tommy Bannister works with us so you work with him. Big thanks to everybody for tuning in so far. Gardner, what's the poll we have out? I know it has to do with yesterday's show, which, by the way,
I threw
another
a
shout
couple
out
polls
to.
out,
Oh,
actually.
nice. Another shout out to JC. I don't know. I know he was a little quiet on the mic, but he was a lot of fun to have in yesterday, and it was a good time. So big shout out to JC. And if you're
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
out and about tomorrow or tonight, you can go see him at Helium. What's on the poll situation, Garzi?
Well, going back to yesterday's show, I threw this poll out there for a melee. Of these 4 nicknames, which is the best? Capri Sun, Ketosis, Pizza Roll, or Tasty Cakes?
Forget Capri Sun.
I'm
Spelled it
sorry.
wrong.
Capri Sun. With 2 hours left in voting. 3% Ketosis. 21% Pizza Roll. 23% Capri Sun. 53% Tasty Cakes.
Yeah.
Tasty Cakes. Wow.
See,
Good
I
call.
Call
like-
me Tasty Cakes.
I like
So do we have to
Capri
call
Sun.
him that?
So here's my thing now. I knew I was right to just say it, because when I said it, it was kind of out of nowhere. I knew it was a good idea,
You
so I
did?
had to say it out loud.
Okay.
And guess what? The people have spoken.
Well,
I was
I
right
mean-
So
in
you
saying
okay
it.
with another grown man just walking down the street? He maybe saw you at Helium a week ago, enjoyed your great hosting, enjoyed your comedy, and he sees you. He's like, "Yo, Tasty Cakes.
It's better
What's
than what
good?"
it's better
Mhm.
than what people used to call me. So
What'd they call you?
I had a joke about being called a very nasty word in high school. We'll talk off mic.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
We've said some nasty things on the show, and if you got to say it off mic, it must be horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Or Snickers. I get called Snickers a lot too.
No,
No
you
one
tried
calls
to
you
call
Snickers.
yourself
Why is-
Snickers.
No, a couple people have called me Snickers.
because you
After
told
seeing
them
your
to.
bit,
No. After shows,
Yeah, but you told us yesterday you tried to get yourself called that.
I did.
So people
You
only
tried
call
to get
you
you.
that.
You're forcing nicknames here, pal.
No, so I started telling it in my stand-up about how I tried to do it. And so after shows, people would go, "What's
This
up,
is a
Snickers?"
ploy.
I get
This
it.
is a
And
ploy,
I
though.
won.
Yeah.
I won.
Nice. Nice.
You only put it
That's
in
pretty
the
smart,
bit so
Tommy. I
you
like
could.
that.
Yeah, I understand.
Wink, wink.
Good
Right.
agenda.
Tom
Yeah,
wanted
good
to
work.
know why Snickers wasn't in the poll.
Just because I was going based off what we had come up with yesterday.
That's fair.
Now
I
we could
accept
do
that.
another poll
Tasty
asking for
Cakes.
Tommy specifically is Tasty Cakes or Snickers.
Tasty
better.
Cakes.
He really
Just
wants
really drill
Tasty
down on
Cakes.
it.
So like a woman comes up a woman like getting very hot and heavy with you, Tommy, and she's like, "Oh, bring it to me, Tasty Cakes." That keeps you
least
still
he's in that
going. That keeps
position.
you still.
Yeah,
Be
it's better
giving
than her stopping and going, "You're real awkward to be around."
Or
or
I'll be embarrassed if you tell people we hung out.
Yes, that too.
Again, she's busy at the Harley dealership.
I was bitching
What you
about
should have done, I was thinking about that. You should have told people she ate your ass.
That's the only answer. That's the only way. Because then,
So just tell people to start the rumor now, Tommy. Just go, Jessica, yeah, she ate my ass. Nothing to it.
nothing else. Just
Nothing
tongue
else.
roll.
Nothing
Oh.
else. Nope. Like she bypassed the kiss, she bypassed the hug, went straight to eating the ass.
how do we do that? How do we make that happen?
How do
But
I?
I'm happy to start that rumor. Do whatever we can do to get that rumor going, as long as it doesn't come back to us. But I am okay
Well-
with making sure. Yeah, Gardner, just delete this later. We'll just,
I was gonna
we'll
say.
delete, yeah,
No.
just delete it.
There might
Yeah,
be an
we'll just
issue
delete
here
it.
now. As long as it doesn't come back to us after we laid out our entire plan over a Facebook Live.
The worst villain ever.
Oh,
And
God.
that's why his nickname is Snickers.
Yeah.
Says Tom.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I was bitching about that at the local watering hole yesterday. I went up to some girl there went on a date. I go, listen to this shit. Like I just laid in. I go, I don't know who she thinks she is. I go, she's on Tinder. You don't get to say that when you're on Tinder. Find it. And I was just yelling at this at the bar. I
was
I was
bothering you
still
that much.
upset
So
yesterday.
if you weren't listening yesterday, Tommy
Travis has a really good idea.
Tommy went with a young lady who was glamour shotted up in her Tinder and had the gall to hang out with our intern Tommy and tell him if people found out we hung out, I would be embarrassed.
Just hung out.
I was Now Travis's solution is to spread an acid. Spread that
They do this
information like
because-
pink eye, Tommy.
Didn't they do this to Drake? Did they do this to Drake? Does this happen to Drake or something like that?
Look, man,
mean,
that
a lot
was.
of-
I'm with Gardner there. Like that kind of pissed me off all day yesterday too, because
That was all
like
right.
yeah, there are several reasons why you just shouldn't say that to anybody outside of just being a normal human being. But like, keep that. I mean, look, you already swiped right, so how are you embarrassed?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
You swipe
Yeah.
right.
You're here for
So
the Steak
how
and
are
Shake
you
gift
gonna
cards.
sit up here?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and who passes up good Steak and Shake? And look, if a man is willing or a woman is willing to go and be frugal because they want to see where this goes, I'm okay with starting at Steak and Shake. What the hell? Like, I'm
Also-
not gonna give you a 5-course meal until you actually eat my ass.
Skinny white dudes are in vogue right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
I haven't.
They are.
No.
Oh.
Tell us why.
I
You
don't
know,
I
Chris
just-
hasn't, because he's not skinny.
Yeah.
Look at him. I lost 48 pounds and on NutriSlim. Look at me. I'm like Louis Anderson's left arm. That's how skinny I am.
I heard a story about Louis Anderson walking up to somebody in a party in his underwear, talking to him, kind of touching him on their shoulder, and then going, "I've got a shit."
First of all, I believe that story because that impersonation is dead on.
And also they were like Louis' boyfriend, and they were like, "Oh, whoops, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that." Like it's some secret Louis Anderson's been homosexual for.
I think we all seen baskets. I think we get it.
So why are skinny dudes in vogue right now?
I don't know. Just look like Pete Davidson was popular.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's
look
your
at him.
reasoning.
Yeah.
It's because Pete Davidson has something below his pants at the
Yeah.
size of that entire table.
I mean.
Why are you setting him up, Travis?
I
Why are you
mean-
setting him up?
Oh, okay.
Tommy,
All right,
Tommy,
never
look
mind.
Chris in the eye and go, "You wish you had this, didn't you, big boy?"
Now
No, look at me.
Oh yeah,
You wish you had this, don't you, big boy?
this is very strange.
Until
Until you.
I can't see why that girl said you was awkward to be around.
Yeah,
I cannot
yeah,
see.
that's Until you have a TSA agent use both hands to violate you in the middle of 150 people in a terminal, you're not allowed to say that to me. Right, Trav?
It was like she was. It was like she was grabbing for
man.
the rings on American Gladiator. Like, climbing up Chris's leg.
Not my leg, ma'am. Ma'am.
Is this a boom mic, sir?
And to be fair, it was a dude, and I looked him in the eye. I was like, "Do you enjoy this? Is this fun for you? You want to go behind a curtain, sir? Sure, don't. Do it right here."
And it was Miami, so he was very zesty.
He kept whispering Gloria Estefan lyrics in my ear while he was doing it. We have more questions. Lisa wants to know if
What a stupid show.
I was just thinking that. We've planned my funeral and now.
now we're subtly talking about our penises.
Incredibly
That's
stupid show.
Yeah.
Just kind of. There comes a point where you just go and just see where you end up.
Mhm.
You don't stop
Yeah.
it.
I mean, do we just bring back the moniker now that Tommy Pebbles is laying claim to stuff too? Biggest D's in podcasting. Now it's not radio anymore. We've conquered that.
I'm
land.
pretty sure Mark Maron has that.
What's happening? Why do we know about Mark Maron?
Look at
Especially
the
before
energy he
Chris.
gives off.
Look at the.
I read that book, and Shaq's got a podcast, but I read it was just normal. Well, I want to quit. This is the show that we do. Do we have another poll?
We do.
Get it? Poll.
I put another one out this morning.
Hmm.
I'm not going to be able to write this in the description.
Mm-mm.
What?
The penis thing.
Oh yeah, you can. It'll
No,
be
I
fine.
mean that's
Yeah, we'll
fairly
get around
standard. Yeah.
I asked on this melee. This is, I guess the news came out yesterday. Will you cancel your Netflix account when The Office is removed from the streaming service in 2021? Yes or no?
do we like? Is everybody so in love with Netflix? I mean, it does provide great stuff, but if you really want to do the thing where you watch The Office every 2 seconds, wherever
DVDs.
it goes, DVDs. Good point. I did have the box set. Wherever it goes, you're going to be able to stream it. The NBC is just going to put on their platform, right?
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go with NBC Universal's new platform. NBC Universal, Warner Media, Disney Streaming, Disney Plus. They're going to be rolled out here later this year. And so I think the Netflix deal with The Office, I think they offered $90 million to keep it on past 2021. And NBC Universal stepped in and offered $100 million to bring it to their streaming service. So, I mean, you're going to still have it on there for the rest of this year and all of next year. So it isn't as if you're going to go to Netflix tonight and it's no longer going to be there. But I mean, I don't know. I guess people's tastes change. And while The Office has been incredibly popular for several years now on Netflix, I don't think like people are going to leave Netflix in droves. But I think people will. I think Netflix may consider lowering some of their prices if they start losing content like Friends and The Office over time, which is likely to happen. So I think in the end of the day, I think it's still a kind of a boon for consumers, though it does look like there's going to be
or
multiple streaming services, more than five, and it sort of feels like we're back to looking at cable style bills going forward in the future when it comes to our television watching.
can I make two really quick points? You can
Yes.
buy the complete series of The Office for $60 at Best Buy, which is if you're just paying for Netflix for The Office, just spend the money. First of all,
Right.
secondly, if
True.
Netflix is so worried about losing these shows, why don't they just write better shows?
I was going to say that isn't
Well,
the
they
point
have
to get
actually.
people
They
to draw
have,
them in
but
to
like,
get to your content?
but
Mhm.
nothing. I don't know. There's not like,
Black Mirror is pretty
but
pretty popular.
sitcoms, like
Yeah, you're right.
sitcoms. They do well with dramas and drama comedies, but they
Mhm.
don't have a lot of like sitcoms, like traditional.
Cartoons are doing well. I don't. Yeah, I can't think. Is there? We've got to be missing one. There's got to be one Netflix comedy series.
I-
that's-
BoJack Horseman, but
No,
it's
but
that's
animated,
cartoon.
but
Not
it's a
animated.
That's
comedy.
cartoon,
Yeah, true. So you said
Uh,
non-animated?
non-animated, because that's
That's an original comedy from Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah,
Oh, I have to look into that one, Tommy.
Exactly.
It doesn't anything pop off the top of my head, but you're right. I
That's
think
my
they've
point.
invested a lot into the stand-up because that's, while they do pay a lot of those stand-up very well, it's still cheaper than perhaps producing a sitcom. So yeah, they may be here in the future. There's another opportunity again for a lot of artists like yourself, Tommy, to develop sitcoms for things like Netflix, knowing that they're going to have to fill that void once The Office and Friends leaves.
like they have Arrested Development now, and they're making one more season, but that's just one more season of a show that they didn't originally create.
Yeah.
Right. I give you that. I completely agree. I don't know how this is ultimately going to work out for all the consumers. I feel like it's all going to circle back to where it was with cable, especially once Disney and Warner Media rolls out their streaming services because they have so much content between those two major companies. But I don't know. I think it's as far as Netflix is concerned, I would imagine that they're going to have to start considering lowering some of their prices or offering different pricing plans if you're going to lose. I think I saw a survey say that more than 40% of Netflix users watch The Office. That's a huge chunk of your users watching one television show. So they're going to have to figure out how to make it worth people's while once those two shows ultimately leave.
They're already so far in debt. That's the problem.
They are. They are. So I don't know how they're going to make the math work. But
Just
right
declare
now we're in the
bankruptcy.
TV golden age. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But at the same
I-
time, I think they're also. I mean, where else are you going to go? Where else are you going for your content?
Yeah. Well,
Hulu. I go to Hulu. Hulu has better
Yeah,
shows.
Hulu's got
like
some good
Hulu has
stuff.
Buffy and X Files, which are two of my favorite. Well, but like
No, I get it.
they have Buffy and X Files, which they got rid of on Netflix.
Now-
like there was no reason for me to
And I
like.
use-
We did blow it, by the way, real quick, Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, but like.
Yes.
That's a
That's
that's a
fair.
popular comedy.
fair.
Yeah, and that's from Tom and
Yeah, it did
also
like
Black
what,
Sheep,
5 seasons,
others.
4 or 5 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never watched that one, but that's a fair point. But that's just one. You'd think
I mean,
they'd be making
we
several.
shouldn't have to struggle when it's that kind of a mammoth. But I mean,
But
Dear
there's
white people, it's not as popular. It's
Easy.
certainly critically acclaimed, but it's not as popular as
nowhere
maybe,
near
of course,
that, right?
Friends and The Office. But they have a couple sitcoms that
Easy
are.
and Love. I also they're on there.
And I use
Yes.
Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime's also a really good one. I watched Downton Abbey on that.
I
But
just
what
don't
sitcoms
know.
are on? Mrs. Maisel. I guess we can count that as. Is that a sitcom, Chris?
Oh yeah, and you watch the
Okay.
second season before the first season. Also,
Yeah.
that's what I recommend.
Except I
That's how
got
I recommend it.
I got Amazon Prime and I'm there watching Chuck. So I mean it's
I mean,
Another
we
NBC
all-
property that's probably going to end up on NBC
right.
Universal.
So here's the thing,
Honestly,
like I can't say
Probably not. That
I-
one's not a huge. I don't think that's as huge.
It's
a
got a
property.
cult following though.
By the way,
And it does
Maisel-
have Zach Levy in it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He's,
I'd
I
call
am-
Very
Maisel one of
lovable.
the best TV shows out there.
What's-
I mean,
what's
it's really
Maisel on?
good. Amazon.
okay.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, and Travis, I think that this goes to, some of conversations we've had previously. I can't tell you how I consume in 2 years. I don't think I can predict or project what that's going
I
to
don't,
be.
and Gardner, to that point, I don't think a lot of these companies can necessarily. I think they're projecting. Certainly, if you listen to Bob Iger a couple months ago when he was talking about rolling out Disney Plus,
Was he in St.
sounded
Louis
like
when
a
doing
man
so?
that he was indeed,
Yeah.
and he sounded like a man who they had an idea. It's Disney, so they have an idea as to where it's going, but no one for sure
Yeah.
knows the actual habits of today's consumers when it comes to this content. And again, I would imagine when Netflix brought out The Office and Friends aboard, they didn't necessarily think that a vast majority of their subscribers were just going to want to watch that. And so we don't know what's going to look like in 2021. This could be a blessing in disguise for all we know for Netflix.
Think
Think
So
about that.
I'm not, yeah. Go ahead,
Think
Chris,
about
I'm
all
sorry.
the original content, all the crazy stuff, all the. Let's just talk about Planet Earth. Do you know what it goes into? How many years of research and scientists and cameras, all this stuff, original documentaries, all these things, and the leader on Netflix is a sitcom from 2004.
Yeah, but the documentaries are good.
Oh, they're
Um,
fantastic, but that's what's pulling in, your
I was-
average user.
I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a little bit older than me, so he was around when this happened. When like all the cable channels, they started doing the package deals where you could like HBO, Cinemax, and all those things in
Yeah.
one package and pay a certain amount a month. And he said it's probably going to go towards something like that. For like a certain amount of money a month, you can get HBO, or not HBO, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or like the Disney Plus
Yeah.
and the NBC.
Well,
thing.
because and that's what I wonder about me is like, am I going to want to be subscribing to 5 different streaming services, or is
Right.
there a way to condense that?
Yeah. So
that's I obviously would
It's
look
all
for the
gonna-
easiest path.
It's all
So-
going to cycle back, and they're all going to
Yeah.
be called
Right.
channels, and they're going to be owned by cable companies.
What the
But
heck
that's-
just
but that's-
happened? What have we been doing
You're gonna
for
go
10 to 15
full
years?
Full circle.
But yeah, it seems like it would be a much simpler solution to this problem because right now, I'm sure people are paying $60-$70 a month for some of these streaming packages.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to do like a bulk deal.
Because for me, it's if I include everything, it's Netflix, Amazon, Sling.
What's Sling?
Sling's just like I don't know
That
what
live
the-
TV.
See,
Yeah,
that's
live
the
way to
point.
watch
That's
live
the
TV.
point. There's like stuff I don't even know about.
Yeah, and I use Sling and
Fubo. There's a million different
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
so I can't tell you 2 years. 2 years, just that short of time away. I have no idea what to tell you how I'm going to be consuming.
Tommy does bring up a good point, though. Tommy's point of Netflix still, for now, last 7 years, hovering severely in debt, and no sign in the near future as to when they'll eventually, quote unquote, break even. So I think a lot of these streaming services are going to take a hard look and see what happens with Netflix over the next year or so, especially with the rollout of these new streaming services. So, like I said, hopefully it benefits the consumers, but to Chris's point, it feels like we're getting right back to cable companies.
I mean,
Because,
that's
like-
how that stuff works.
And like I'm lucky I have they do a deal for Hulu and Spotify. I get them both for $5 a month premium and
Student.
Hulu Plus. Yeah, student. But like Hulu is $15 a month. I
Yeah.
think something like that for a
Is that like
two-screen
ad
deal.
free?
Ad free.
And don't you get live? Do you get live
deal.
TV options with a couple of those?
I am not sure on that. I know you get 2 screens and ad free for $15, which is a lot. Which is a lot of money.
And then don't forget YouTube's in the game as
Yeah,
far as
YouTube
showing
has
not
their
only
shows coming up.
original programming and live television. So you're looking at a situation with YouTube. I think YouTube with all live television and their original program is like $49.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And
DC
so like
Universe?
yeah, DC's got theirs going to roll out here.
DC's
I
already
think
rolled
if you're
out.
no, oh, that's right. That's right.
Because
If
Titans is airing.
I think if you are a creative though, and this is just from what I've had the opportunity to hear since I've been in New York,
CEO of
this is
Sesame
the
Street Writing.
but this would be like as far as a writer. Again, if you're a creator, if you're a stand-up comedian, this is probably the best time for you because, like we said a year ago, 500 original shows premiered a year ago. 500, the most in the history of the medium. And so again, you're going to see these other streaming services break off. I've already heard things from creatives who are starting to work with Disney Plus and how they are going to have an independent bent. So it looks like Disney's is going to start working with a lot of smaller independent creatives to start getting their projects off the ground. So it's an exciting time for a lot of people who are in the industry. Hopefully it all shakes out to where everyone wins, especially the consumer. But if you're trying to make something happen, there's kind of no more excuse anymore. There's so many ways to get your work out there.
Especially with YouTube. YouTube especially is
definitely with YouTube.
The best part of it. So like if I wanted to do a short series, I could put it on YouTube. And then people could watch it there. I mean, I'd have to get people to I'd have to find a way to get people to watch it because algorithms and stuff bury it, which is also another problem. But that's a separate issue.
There you go. Let me tell you guys about Getaway Carts. GetawayCarts.com is the website.
Welcome to my funeral.
That's right.
The official sponsor of Gardner's funeral.
Oh, so good. And you know, we didn't include that originally in the deal that we have with them, so they're getting a bonus on this. Getaway Carts is a local business specializing in the sales, service, customization of golf carts. You name it, they can and have done it. At GAC, they pride themselves in living up to the tagline and hashtag customize without limits. Do we need to add hashtag Gardner funeral on that too?
If they wouldn't mind.
Okay. GetawayCarts.com today for their inventory and all their capabilities. You can check that out. Or if you know somebody looking for a cart, let them know to support our friends at Getaway Carts. We did have a Hullness check we needed to look in on. Brett Hull, we found out yesterday, became great friends with the king of hospitality, Mr. Gary. You guys know him. You love him. He's on Them Yo People. He's a St. Louis treasure, a legend. Then he met Brett Hull with his Ric Flair drip T-shirt on, and hilarity ensued. Gardner, is there video of this thing we were talking about? We saw little action yesterday, but there's a video also.
We saw the screenshots. I went to find the episode on YouTube of Them Yo People, and it's up if anyone wants to watch the entire thing. But I went and found the part where Mr. Gary and Brett Hull get together and chat for a few minutes. Travis, do you mind if I play this for you? I know you probably haven't seen this yet.
I am a little bit nervous. I am not going to lie, but bring it on.
All right, let's watch together. Why don't we? How about that? Here's Mr. Gary.
Oh God.
And Brett Hull.
Now we at the end.
And now we at the end.
Oh, Mr. Brett, you promised us.
How great are these people?
You said as long as the people were excited, we could do it.
And we did. And now are we excited?
Oh, my God. We are very excited, Brett.
Oh, my God, we are excited.
Let me ask you something. How does this
Oh,
make
please
you
don't
feel?
say the N-word. Please don't say the N-word.
I don't even know how to put it into words. It's the most exciting thing ever.
Wow.
Like, it's almost like losing your virginity.
Have you lost yours?
Yeah.
I'm holding on to mine.
You're a lion.
Hey, listen, when you see everybody out today, black, white, Chinese, Asian,
Everything.
Russian, everything.
Chinese,
Blue,
Asian.
black,
This
blue.
brings us all together.
Is this why you
I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. We all come together.
You know
this
why?
is because we're one people.
And what's that?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah, right. We're one people.
Damn your, say it.
Yo people.
Damn your people.
Damn your people.
And that's it. Damn your people. We all people. You all. Hey, listen. The Blues
say?
did
What'd
it.
he say?
They did it. They started from the bottom. They came all the way up.
St. Louis did it.
And they didn't just do it for themselves. They did it for all the hospitality workers.
it's the
They did it
greatest-
for all of the people
Greatest day in the
who
history of the
purchased
city.
who purchased jerseys.
Yeah.
They did it for everybody who cleaned the streets. They did it for you. They did it for your TV entertainment.
Absolutely.
And you know what else they did it for? They did it for Brett Hall, baby.
They did it
They did
for
it for
us.
your love, baby. Okay.
Try the crown on.
You want to try the crown on? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know Mr. Gary don't take his crown off for nobody. But I'm
That's right.
gonna tell you this.
Are you gonna
This
let
man
him
right here,
off?
this is Brett Hall. I'm stripping down.
Jesus,
Right here.
he's stripping
I'm
down.
stripping down. I'm stripping down.
Oh no.
I'm stripping down.
Crosby stripping
I'm
down.
stripping down. I'm stripping down for the Blues, baby. I'm stripping down for Mr. Brett Hall.
And I'm going to put on the crown.
Oh, y'all want me to do it? Do y'all want me to do it? You gotta say, let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Put that on my
Blues.
head.
We went
Put that
Blues.
on my head.
Is that Bobby Plager in the background rolling
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
That's how Brett Hall got
I
the
feel
crown.
so regal.
Oh my, and you look so regal too. What do you say? What do you say, Mr. Gary? For royalty, baby, Brett Hall. I have stripped down. Brett
baby.
is wearing the crown.
Oh, my,
How does
this
it
is a
feel to
lot.
be the king?
It feels awesome.
Oh my God! And you know what?
God, now I know what it feels like to be you.
That could not have gone any better, by the way. That there were so many variables in that situation that could have taken
There
it
are a
down
lot
a
of
path,
variables
and
in this
they
situation.
did
That could have
wonderfully.
absolutely. Ugh.
Glory, Gloria.
Anybody else hear him call him a lion motherfucker?
Yeah, I know. How did that get through?
Was it, maybe
Wait, who
that's-
said that?
Oh, Hall.
Brett Hall.
Whenever Mr. Gray said he's saving his virginity, he said, "You're a lion, motherfucker."
It's when Brett says he lost his. Mr. Gary has, and he goes, ah! I was like, oh my God. Oh,
So, do we
Oh.
need to start a podcast with those two?
oh my God. Like civic issues of the
I
day.
don't.
and they
I
discuss-
think. I think. Yeah. I think we just, for Brett Hall's sake, I just want him to take the summer off. He's outsummered us all. He
Hi.
won the summer. Brett Hall won the summer. There's no reason to do anything else. It's everybody else just go and enjoy your family and the picnics. Brett Hall won the summer. And for Brett Hall's sake, I hope he finds some water and he hydrates over the next couple months. Because he really kicked it. Here's the thing. I am, if there's one thing I am upset, I missed the celebration of the St. Louis Blues winning the Stanley Cup in St. Louis, being in St. Louis, celebrating with all the fans and many of my friends. I missed that. But seeing Brett Hall just makes it okay for me, knowing that I would have never been able to get as drunk as he was
Never.
during this entire celebration. So I think for him, there should be a statue built of Brett Hall in the middle of Market Street where he was walking at 3 a.m. I think that's right outside of the Ballpark Hilton and next to Keener Plaza. I just want a statue built in him. I think he was in flip-flops. He had an open button up. If we can just get that bad boy plastered in the middle of Market Street, St. Louis will have completed their great Stanley Cup celebration.
I think that duo can appear on shows now, though. I'm picturing this. Hi, I'm Charlie Brennan, and welcome to Donnybrook. My guests today are Mr. Gary and Brett Hall as we discuss issues facing the city of St. Louis and the region. There you go.
You imagine
I think
those
it's
two
solved a lot.
discussing the city-county merger? Good God.
I think that's perfect. I don't think we're going to come up with a better idea today. So we're going to take a break. It's We Are Live. It's been a great first hour. If you want, go back. Share the video if you're watching. That always helps us out. And be sure to check out the audio. Subscribe on iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. It's Chris Denman, Tommy the intern. Travis is in New York working on the Sesame Street Fellowship. The great Chris Gardner, our stream queen, is running the board and everything else. We'll take a quick break here at Midcoast Media on We Are Live. We'll be right back.